Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Management Advisory Club meeting. Today, you guys are getting a very, very special treat. You're getting who else but me to present Wiley's CPA, CMA, and CFA course. So, and by the way, for any of our forum members on Zoom, the pizza is going to be coming in about 5 minutes. So if you really want to just come and get the pizza, we're at 12:30. So just throwing it out there. Let me find my slide deck. And by the way, there will be no PDP points, unfortunately, but next week's meeting, which is our last meeting of the semester, which will be on Thursday, we will have our PDP points. All right, if I can find my slide deck. All right, so welcome. Basically, this is the CPA, CMA, CFA information session. If you do scan that QR code, you'll be via our emailing list, so you'll hear about everything, updates on Wiley. So, John Wiley's sons have been around for over 200 years of excellence. You may have seen us in textbooks like Intermediate Accounting, like I know I actually know right now IFA 2. You might have seen us in books called Accounts for Dummies. In my opinion, I think accountants are not dummies. They're kind of awesome people, in my opinion. And you might have used our homework service, Wiley Plus, all your homework needs, and all that good stuff. So Wiley, like I said, has been around for 200 years of excellence, has been a valuable source of information. Our content and products and services helps researchers, professionals, educators, and students around the world meet their needs and fulfill their aspirations. We have over 5,000 plus employees worldwide, $1.8 billion in revenue. 50% of our revenue comes out of the United States, and 6% of our revenue comes from our digital products. So for any of you who do not know who I am, and if you really don't know, then you probably just look me up on LinkedIn. So my name is Jag Mitchell. I am an accounting major here at Fairleigh Dickinson University. So we're College of Business, sophomore. I'm also an inspired CPA and CMA. I'm also a Wiley Campus Ambassador. I'm also an IMA Campus Ambassador. If you listened to, I think, our meeting 2 weeks ago, we had Peter Linto came in for the first half of the meeting. I talked about IMA for the second half of the meeting. My email is there. My phone number's there. I don't know why my phone number there, but just get there real quick. So what do I do as a Wiley Campus Ambassador? I basically help spread awareness of the product. 1 second. Yes. Yes. All right. For all of our Florham Campus members, the pizza's here. So if you guys want to come present to us, it's here. So help you guys out. So what do I do as Wiley Campus Ambassador? I help spread awareness of Wiley efficient products. I help share presentation info from Wiley relevant to you guys. I also help you guys get a discounted test prep course of your choice. So we have a lot to go over today, and I'm trying to get this whole done in an hour. So hopefully we can do it in an hour. So first, we're going to talk about other certifications we do over here at Wiley. We then will go over the Cpa exam. I will also touch on the new Cpa exam for anyone who does not know that. The CMA exam, you probably just looked at the video I did 2 weeks ago, but it'll be more of a quick Cliff Notes version of it. And then we'll talk about the CFA exam, which is geared towards mainly our members here, the Wealth Management Advisory Club here. And then on part 5, I'll actually show you guys a live demonstration of Wiley, CPA, CMA, CFA Excel course. And then I'll also, the last part, I'll go over discounts or surveys. And also I'll tell you how you can become a Wiley Campus Ambassador. Unfortunately, that's not for Florham, but for any of our Metro members, you can actually become a Wiley Campus Ambassador because we are having a Wiley Campus Ambassador on the Florham, so we can too. But anyway, all right, so first, we have this Venn diagram here. You probably wondering why we call it a Venn diagram. It's actually based on our head instructor, the CFP exam, Ben Jones. This basically shows you all the stackable certs that up-leverage your career and overlapping can strike your specific certification. We have investment management, we have personal financing, language of business being the CPA exam, MBA, interpersonal communication, and also CFA, which is financial analysis. And then we also have business analysts. So to mainly go down to part 1, we should go with the other certification courses we do offer here at Wiley. First one being the CFA exam, but I'm not going to talk about this because we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So continuing on, we have the CAI exam, which specializes in alternative investments such as hedge funds, private equities, real assets, commodities, and structured products. We also have the FRM exam, the Financial Risk Management exam, which is globally recognized standard risk for professionals. We also have the CMT exam, this Charter Market Technician exam, which is a gold designation for practitioners of technical analysis. And we also have the CFP exam, which is financial advisors or consultants and are working in the insurance broker houses or the banking industry. The CFP exam is offered 3 times a year, each over a 5-day period. The CFP exam is offered in 2 3-hour sessions at the Prometric testing centers The exam fee is around $600. And we also have the CMA exam, which is the professional certification for financial advisors and investment consultants in advanced portfolio construction. The minimum requirement to get this program is 3 years of documented professional experience as a financial advisor. All right, so now we're going to go to part 2. So where in this room, and honestly, where are my accounting majors at?
Oh, right here, of course.
Well, this is going to be geared towards you guys. So we're going to first talk about planning for the CPA exam, and for any of the current students, seniors and juniors, this is probably geared towards you. For sophomore freshmen, keep an eye out because I will be talking about the new CPA exam form, which will be implemented in 2024. So in this part, we'll go over education experience, CPA exam timing, exam format, application process, and strategies to pass CPA exam, which actually we won't be going over. We're probably just going over the first 4. So there are 3 E's to licensures: exam, education, and experience. Let's first talk about the educational requirements. To take the CPA exam, you'll need a bachelor's degree, which you guys are at right now, you guys are at FDU. In that bachelor's degree, you get 120 total semester units, which included in that includes 24 semester units of accounting subjects. That's usually your intro to financial accounting, intro to managerial accounting, IFA 1, IFA 2, all of the great accounting courses. And it also contains, you have that 24 semester units of business subjects. So for example, like intro to statistics and MIS and micro and macroeconomics, for example. Now, in order to get licensed in as a CPA, you'll need 150 total semester units, including 20 semester units in the accounting studies subject and 10 semester units in ethics studies subjects. So what are the experience requirements? The experience requirements, you need 1 year of general accounting experience, and this could be in any sort of accounting experience, like if you're going to tax and audit and government, it could be in any accounting experience, it could be in it. Like I just said there. You have an experience signed by an active CPA, and note that I highlighted that, active as an active CPA. So the type of work. So basically, if you're doing part-time work, you have at least about or more than 2,000 hours. If you're doing full-time work, you need to be working for at least a whole year. And there are 2 types of licenses. Actually, that's something brand new you guys probably never heard of. There's 2 types of CPA license. You can actually have the type G license, which is a general license, which you cannot assign a test report. And then also our type A license, which is 500 test hours, and you can also sign the test reports as well. So the experience. So this basically varies from each state. I will, and by the way, to every member here, I will send out an email probably the day after this meeting with everything you guys will need. So just for the sake of time, we're keeping it on. So CPA exam timing. It's a cruel world out there. Get it? Cruel. All right, for those people in my audience that got that joke, you guys can kind of shut the back of that one. All right, so the CPA exam, there's 4 parts of the CPA exam. Now, this is under the current CPA exam format. For the new CPA exam, I will talk about that in a little bit, like I said earlier. So, the purpose of CPA exams is to assess and extra knowledge and skills in 4 sections. So, the first section is the audit and attention section. This covers your audit procedures, GIS, which is generally accepted auditing standards, and a test engagement. Then our second section, which is BEC, which is your business environment and concepts, that covers your general business knowledge. These are the courses you have taken with your other non-accounting majors like economics, finance, information systems. Now, out of the audience today on Zoom, raise your hand if your favorite class was intermediate accounting. Now I'm raising my hand because I'm actually taking that right now, IFA 2. And of course, probably on this call, probably no one is. But you might enjoy this section, the third section of the CPA exam, which is the FAR exam, which is the financial accounting reporting. This is the nuts and bolts of accounting, the debits and the credits. Now, for some people in the audience, please, if you guys would raise your hands if your favorite accounting class was tax. Well, if you like tax, then you're going to like the regulation exam. This section includes federal tax, business laws, ethics, and professional legal responsibility. For me, this involves a fair amount of memorization because a lot of the federal tax law is based on the legislation that does not necessarily have a particular logic to it, like much of accounting. So, in what order should you take the CPA exam, the current CPA exam? Basically, you want to take it under this format. Basically, what's called the big rock theory. You'll first take FAR, then we'll take audit and reg, and then you'll take BEC last. Now, what's basically the timeline for an average accounting major that is planning on taking the CPA exam in 2022? Basically, if they started, well, in January, they should start taking FAR. Once they pass that, they will go and do audit, then reg, and then basically they'll pass back. And then around July 1st, 2022, they then will receive their CPA licensure. And basically, if you're planning to graduate in 2023, time management will be key, and you want to select one of the following options, which you either do the focus route, which you'll pass in 6 to 12 months, depending on the grad date. And pro tip as advice, start studying while you're in school. Studies show that the closer you are to graduation, more successful you will be on exam day. And I am not lying about that. I will show you a statistic about that in just a little bit. Or you can take the blended route, which bridges current and newer versions. You'll be part of the CPA exam under the current structure and also finish on the new one. And then for anyone that has graduated in 2023, 2024, study to sit for the new version of the CPA exam, and then anyone for 2022, you basically will take the CPA exam as soon as possible before it changes over to the new format. And basically, what we hear at Wiley, actually, I don't know why I mix these slides up, but apparently this is the order you should be taking the CPA exam. You should take Beck first, audit reg second, and then FAR honors. Now, basically, what's the exam timeline to basically, how to apply and how to, prepare for it. So we first are going to look at basically the first step, which is applying. You're going to apply to NASBA or on your state board, allowing 2 to 4 weeks during the process and approve your application. I know in New Jersey, from New Jersey Certified Public Accountants, NJCPA. Applications aren't reviewed until all documents have been submitted. The reviewer will contact you if something's missing. Many states have a checklist to help you file properly. So you go to nsaba.org to check your state's checklist. Then you'll have your note to schedule, aka your NTS. Usually it takes about 6 months. For most states, NTS will be valid for 6 months. Apply and pay for exam fees for only those parts you can realistically sit on for that period. Once your application has been approved, you'll be given the go-ahead to pay your examination fee in order to receive your NTS. The NTS will allow you to schedule an exam at a prometric site. Many NTS expires in 6 months, so pay for the sections you only plan on taking during that window. And then basically continue to do that again. And then basically your 18-month time window starts the day you took your first section that you ultimately passed, not the first section that you took, the first section that you ultimately passed. Stay on track with your study plan to ensure you don't lose a section. If you do lose a section, your 18-month window will now begin on the day you took your next pass session, but you will have to retake the section loss. 4 months of the year are non-testing months, and they do count in determining your 18-month timeline. So basically, here I'm going to show you guys basically a little snippet of what our Wiley CPA Excel course offers. It basically gives you a good planning guide of how many hours you want to study per week. So let's just say if this person wants to study like 4 hours on Saturday, 5 on Sunday, wants to study between like 3 to 2 on Monday to Thursday. And their plan would basically, and they plan to start studying on January 1st of 2019. And they plan to finish on February 24th. Their plan would be they'll study 18 hours a week for 7 weeks. Now I'll touch more on this. We'll go to part 5 in our live demo. So basically, how much time you should study on each section. Well, basically, for FAR, you should study around 200 hours, audit being 100, reg being 120, and Beck being 100. So if you're really into the math in your head, if you add those all together, it's actually 520 hours. Now let's talk about the exam format. I was so happy I passed one section of the CPA exam. I forgot there were 3 more. Yeah, if you thought you passed the CPA exam your first time, you done? No, you got 3 more sections. So, like I said earlier, let's look at each section and how you're going to manage your time as you move through the exam. For every section, your multiple choice performance makes about half of your exam score, and your task-based simulations or your TBS makes up your other 50% of your score. The most common mistakes that candidates make is not allowing enough time to complete the task-based sims, and time management is key. And if you have not started developing those skills, I highly suggest you start doing it now, because it's going to help you when you take either the CPA, CMA, or even the CFA exam. So it's pretty simple. If 50% of your score is based on multiple choice questions, then you should allow 50% of your total time to work on the multiple choice questions, which equate to 2 hours or 1 hour per test. Then you'll have the remainder of your time for the 3 task-based simulations, which is 2 hours. So basically, with the increased testing of higher order skills testing and decreasing task-based simulations for the audit, FAR, and reg sections, as well as the addition of the task-based simulations for Beck, the weighting of the score has also changed. So FAR, audit, reg for the task-based simulation multiple choice questions are both 50% each. In Beck, multiple choice questions are 50%, task-based simulations are 35%, and the written response or written response section 15%. So basically, this is what you'll see when you take the CPA exam. You're basically getting your standard question, and you've probably seen this on every standardized test, like SAT, ACT. You get the question, you'll get the responses, and you have to choose which one. And also calculator, Excel, overview. And basically, this is what you'll look at for task-based simulations. Now, I know it seems like a lot, but believe me, it's gonna help you. You have basically a little prompt you have to read, you have exhibits, you have the same stuff you had here in Tesla 1. And for this, basically, we're gonna ignore this because I think at some point we might make sure to deal with the guys over here at FDU to make Wiley the exclusive test prep course for FDU. So hopefully that will happen. All right, and then on exam. So I was just running through the CPA exam tutorial and sample test on the AICPA website, so you can familiarize yourself with the format and functionality for the big day. This is a screenshot of the welcome screen. You're going to at least 10 minutes to complete the introductory task, the launch code, confidentiality agreement before welcome part time now. Now here's a good use of time. In those precious 10 minutes, grab your laminated sheet of paper that you've been given, do your calculation, and I know probably everyone's gonna be like, what the heck is that? Believe me, you're gonna perform a brain dump. Now you're probably thinking like, what the heck is a brain dump? Well, when I heard about this, I was kind of shocked until I learned about it. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So basically what a brain dump is, basically when you write down all your formulas and definitions or whatever you memorize and just get them all on the paper before you start the exam. You'll be surprised how much you get out on your sheet in those 10 minutes, but do not let the clock expire on you. Like I said, time management is key. Otherwise, you'll have to leave and reply and pay for the new exam, which we all do not want to do. So basically, this is what the CPA exam will look like, basically. So you have the welcome and launch code, take you 5 minutes. The confidentiality agreement will take you 5. You know, your first multiple choice question testlet, your second multiple choice question testlet. Then you have your first task-based simulation testlet, and then you have your standard break clock stopped. Basically, you have 3 optional breaks if you want to use them. Second task-based simulation testlet, and then your third task-based simulation testlet with either that, or if you're doing back with the written response, and then your survey, which will be 5 minutes. So, what is on the current exam? So now we're going to talk about the new CPA exam form, which will be implemented in January 2024. So for every accounting major here on Zoom who is a freshman or sophomore, please pay attention. This is very, very important to you guys. So the AICPA Governing Council and the National Board of Directors have both voted to support advancing the CPA Evolution Initiative. NASDAQ and the AICPA are moving forward with implementing a new core plus discipline CPA licensure model and will launch a new uniform CPA exam in 2024. So, basic CPA evolution will be a dynamic new approach to the CPA licensure that positions the profession for success now and into the future and ensures continued public protection. So basically, what will be the core. So you have your core, which will be your accounting, audit, tax, and tech, which the accounting basically financial reporting and data analytics with your FASBA, GAP, code efficiency, and ACS. Audit being auditing, which your AICPAs, SAS, and AUCs, your PCAOBs auditing standards, and then tax for your internal revenue code, IRC, and then tech integrated throughout. And then once you're done with this part, you're then able to choose one out of the possible 3 branches: tax compliance and planning, business analytics and reporting, and information systems and control. And make sure I'm all right. So, for a deeper dive into the learning objectives associated with the intermediate accounting topics, with 37 learning objectives, for which 19 variation statements using appropriate technology. Now, you're probably wondering, what does the new CPA evolution image looks like? Because I know I showed you guys earlier what the old CPA exam looked like with the format. So let me just get a drum roll, please. Now, you're probably assuming, Jack, why is it a tree? And it looks like a tree. It is. So you're basically, you start with your foundation, which basically where you guys are at right now. Then you'll take your core. And then once you're done with that, you then have the option of taking one of 3. Usually there's 4 parts CPA exam, and in reality now there's only at least 3. Core, and then basically you do one of the branches. So the CPA exam evolution, so the ICS, which will be consist of IT governance and ERM, IT general controls, cybersecurity, info process controls, system and organization controls, and then assurance research. For the bar part of the CPA exam will be advanced accounting, including governmental, cost accounting, advanced data analytics, accounting research, and then TCP, which will be including individual compliance and planning, corporate compliance and planning, personal financial planning, and tax research. So now we're going to talk about application and examination process. Yes, so if I could just be done with the CPA exam already, that would be great. Believe me, it'll pay off in the end when you're all done with it. Believe me. So the process looks like this. You'll basically start to apply for the exam and to make your payment, receive your NTS, schedule your exam. Now, I don't know why when I had the slide deck, it didn't really put something there about studying. Well, how I'm going to say is this: when you start to apply for your exam, From there until you get to take your exam, study, study, study for the CPA exam. I have never met anybody that has passed the CPA exam without studying. It is impossible. Believe me, it's impossible to do that. So take your exam, receive your score, repeat this again for the current CPA exam. The new CPA exam, you then complete your core, and then after you complete core, you then will do one of your three branches. Take ethics exam, apply for licensure, and then maintain your licensure within your state. And the testing center Prometric. So basically schedule your exam with Prometric, schedule early, 45 days before, gives you best chance of choice of dates and times, and online scheduling tool, various hours, some weekends available. And you're probably wondering how the scores released. Well, the CPA exam scoring goes like this. The Prometric set sends responses to the AICPA, which stands for the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants for scoring. Then AICPA sends scores to NASBA. NASBA then sends those out to each state board. They then will send out this example, send that to the NJCPA. The state board then will release those scores to the campus. So 1 to 20 days, that equals to 11 business days after day 20. 21 to 45 days equals 6 business days after day 45. And then 46 and close, which would equal to 6 business days after the close of window. Now, here are the pass rates for the CPA exam, the current CPA exam right now. And you're probably seeing here that the moral of the story is more people pass the CPA exam when it's on Q2 than probably, let's say, I don't know, Q1, in my opinion. And like I said earlier about studying while you're in school now, it is a fact, because like the old saying goes, numbers never lie. Because it is important to start to study out, because as you see right here, when you start to study now when you're at a young age, you have a higher chance of passing. But if you take the exam later, you basically have a less chance of passing. So my advice is take it while you're in school now. I did provide here on this slide the New Jersey Board of Accountancy, the great resources, the exam questions, licensing questions, their emails. This is all we provide you guys probably tomorrow when I send an email to everyone. All right, we got a journey CPA. So education, application process, schedule, study, 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 take the test, and then final steps. So I am going to promote this one thing because I am also an AICPA member. By the way, you can actually become an AICPA student member. It's actually free. So the AICPA SEMA are going to have their annual Engage conference. I did attend it last year. It was actually kind of pretty fun, even though it was virtual. Funny enough, I actually won a prize of actually the complete set of The Office, the series, which is actually kind of pretty awesome on Blu-ray. So this will be held on June 6th to June 9th. It will be virtually as well, but it'll also be held in Sin City, Las Vegas. Like the old saying goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So before we move on to the CMA exam, does anybody have any questions about the CPA exam, the new CPA exam format? Yes.
I just want to understand this correctly. So now instead of taking all 4 exams, you take 1 out of the 3 sections offered.
Correct.
And with that, is it 1 exam or multiple exams?
So basically the core, you're going to take core, and then after you take your core exam, then it's basically you take 1 of the 3. You don't have to take all 3, you have to take 1 of those 3.
So it's 2 exams?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, anybody else on Zoom? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to take that. All right, so now we're going to move on to the CMA exam. I know I talked about this 2 weeks ago, but I'm just going to spruce this up real quick because we already heard about it already. So the CMA designation and then the IMA Institute of Management Accountants. You guys already know this already, so you probably have already heard this already. So I'm not going to really bore you guys out with this. So I don't know what else did I forget on here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this on when I had the meeting 2 weeks ago. So like I said on the meeting 2 weeks ago about you could actually pass the CMA exam while you're still in college. I never really told you guys on how to do that. But in this meeting, I am going to do that. So if you see here, this is basically the guide you would have to go towards if you are planning on passing the CMA exam while you're still in college. And it is very, very common for students to do that. So if you are planning on doing this, so for any sophomores that are interested, and actually have asked any of our awesome accounting professors here at FU to nominate them for the CMA scholarship, listen up. So basically, if you are a sophomore heading into your junior year, if you want to plan on taking the CMA exam, you first have to take managerial accounting, then take your IFA 1. Then after that, your spring junior year, you take your business communications for accounting, then IFA 2. Then your fall senior year, you take your auditing class, your advanced managerial accounting, then you'll take the first part of the CMA exam. And then the spring semester, you take your finance class, your financial statements analysis class, and then take the second part of the CMA exam. And also, I did forget to put that I do have all the IMA New Jersey chapters. And by the way, they do have some meetings that are free for non-IMA members. So obviously want to do that. It'll help you guys out your CPE credits. Just to throw a little bit of promotional for IMA, because I'm also an IMA campus ambassador. IMA will be hosting their Women's Leadership Summit actually tomorrow in New York City from 8:30 to 4:30, from 4 p.m. up to 5 highest CMA credits. It costs $50 for IMA members and non-members. And then also coming up very soon, I think in the next 2 months or so, IMA's accounting conference is going. It's going to be back actually finally in person, which is the IMA's annual conference and expo, which is now being renamed the IMA's Accounting and Finance Conference. Will be in person and virtually from June 12th to June 15th at the JW Marriott in Austin, Texas. As the old saying goes, everything is bigger in Texas. And I did put all the info about that in the notes section on this slide. And then also, like I said earlier about the Student Leadership Conference, it needs to be back in person on October 20th and October 22nd in Witham Grand Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh, PA. So hopefully everyone can do that. Does anyone have any questions from, and you guys can obviously watch the slide to the presentation for 2 weeks ago about the CMA exam. Does anyone have any questions about the CMA exam or anything about IMA? Alrighty then, guys, really, come on, let's get some questions out here. All right, so now we're going to talk about this. Actually, before I say that, where are all my finance majors out here? Even on Zoom, where are they? All right, you guys have been waiting a long time. This is going to be geared towards you guys, finance majors, the CFA exam. So before I talk about the CFA exam, let's just talk about what is the CFA Institute's mission. The CFA Institute is a nonprofit, self-regulating organization, SRO, that is not formally recognized by any governmental regulatory authority. Members of the CFA Institute are part of a global community of investment professionals dedicated to shaping and upholding the highest educational and ethical standards, cultivating fair and equitable markets, and serving investors in the wider public. So more of a Cliff Notes version of this is a pragmatic way of looking at missions that seeks to reduce the need for a governmental regulatory role by certifying the competence and ethical standards of its CFA holders. So basically, what is the value of earning the CFA certificate? And basically, this is for any certification you guys get: CPA, CMA, CFP, any. You will develop a comprehensive investment perspective, gain fluency in practical investment analysis and management skills, earn credibility with industry peers, become part of a global community of top industry professionals, gain the flexibility to work in any market, be sought out by top industry employers, and then demonstrate a commitment to ethics and professional standards. So basically, you're probably wondering, how much does a research analysis usually get as a starting salary? So basically, let's look at an example here. Basically, you have here an entry-level financial analysis in Boston, Massachusetts. Their starting salary would be around $74,000. However, if you look at it, if they're doing it for 1 to 3 years, basically making $96,000 a year, which is pretty crazy. So here's some references to the CFA exam on CFA Institute. I'm not going to read all these because they'll be here for a long time, so you may read this on your own. So let's talk about who should obtain the CFA Charter. Practitioners involved in the decision-making process and finance students, you guys who are here right now listening to this, and anyone on Zoom who desire to work in the investment management industry. So now you're probably wondering, as I kept saying, the CFA, you're probably yelling your computer screens, you're here saying, Jack, what is the CFA exam? Well, the CFA exam is the most highly respected designation in the investment management profession, and it's also the globally recognized graduate level credential. Now you're probably wondering, as a finance major, why should I even care about the CFA exam? Isn't it the CFP? Well, yes, but the CFA Charter is the gold standard in the investment industry and defines a mark of distinction. And it gains strong foundation in advanced investment analysis and portfolio management. So just to touch on more, what is the CFA Charter? Like I said, it is a global investment management industry. It demonstrates a mastery of investment management analysis, asset allocation, portfolio wealth management, and there's over 150,000 professionals across 163 countries. Man, that's a lot. So when should I start pursuing my CFA Charter? So you must have one of the following. You must have your bachelor's degree or be in your final year of your bachelor's degree program, which means you must have either graduated or you must be a senior in college. 4 years of professional work experience. Now, this does not have to be investment related. It could be anything in accounting and finance and wealth management, anything, but have to be professional work experience. And university experience, that combination of professional work totals at least 4 years. Now, part-time positions, they do not qualify, and the 4-year total must be occurred prior to enrollment. So how do I obtain the CFA Charter? You have to pass all three. That's right, I said it right. Three levels of the CFA exam and take the ethics pledge. Obtain 4 years special work experience in the investment decision-making process. Now, this can be occurred before, during, or after passing all three parts. And then obtain 2 to 3 letters of reference. Now, it is common that you can actually only get 2 letters of reference if one of them is a CFA Charter holder. Now, and also join the CFA Institute as a regular member. So how long does it take to pass the CFA exam? Now, like I said, with the CPA, the current CPA exam and the CMA exam, it usually takes about 18 months. But when I first looked at the slide deck and when I looked at the number, I was pretty shocked to know this number. And I'm like, wow, like that's a lot of time. And I give props to those FI estimators who actually plan on taking the CFA exam. Man. So it actually takes an average length to pass all three exams 4 years. So if you really think about it, that's almost an entire time in high school and in college, excluding go to grad school, if you think about it. There's a one-time enrollment fee of $450, and then the registration fee is $700. Now, this depends on when you sign up. There's early registration, standard registration, and late registration deadline. My advice to everybody, make sure you sign up for early registration. You save yourself some money. Believe me, we do not want you guys to be wasting money, not messing on the registration. So, CFA career paths. What do CFA charter holders do? The portfolio managers and research analysis used to be the top professions. Over the last 10 years, there has been a diverse group of professionals who have seen value in getting the CFA. Other is the larger segment. The higher percentage of C-suite officers holding CFAs is way on portions of the population clients. So, for example, they are portfolio management, researchers, consultants, chief level executives, investment strategists, risk management, wealth management, vice president. Connected link there. Relationship, credit analysis, trading, financial planning, others. And, oh, look at this, accounting. See? Accountants can also be CFA charters. I have met some people in the business world that actually are not only CPA certified, but also CFA certified as well. So this right here is the old way of taking the CFA exam. You basically have to go in an army bunker with like 1,000 people and take the exam in person. Now I want you guys to just look at this. And I want you to forget everything on this slide because this does not apply to anybody because that was the old way of doing it. Because now I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys don't know already, the new CFA, CBT, new exam cycle, and the format. So what is CBT? CBT stands for computer-based testing. So as of, I think, last year, all 3 levels of the CFA exam will now be moving from a digital testing to digital testing for prior based paper-based testing format. It's our way of saying, listen, we're going to stop cutting down trees and help the earth now. And the CFA ICBT partners the Prometric and the British Council. So basically, this is the last paper-based test over back in December 2020. So starting last year, computer-based testing began at all 3 levels. Our policy that candidates will not be permitted to take the test in adjacent windows, allowed candidates 6 to 9 months between testing windows. Now, for this year, level 1 actually offered in each quarter. Levels 2 and 3 are all alternating each quarter. So in my opinion, how I see it is basically this. Level 2 will basically offer, in February, August, November, in the even years. The odd years we offered in May and August, and then vice versa for level 3. Now, let's look at a pathway of what a finance student who's planning on taking the CFA exam, what that time will look like. So if you see here, basically we have May 2021, and basically they're starting to take the exam, last year. If they pass it, they will take level 2 in February 2022. If they fail, they'll retake it in November 2021. And then they pass to go to level 2. They pass it, they go to level 3, they'll take it this November for level 3, 2022. If they fail, they'll retake it in August 2022. And then once they pass level 3, then they pass to take the ethics pledge and they get their CFA charter and then do everything like with the CPA and the CFA licensure. So the Wiley CFA exam review product impact. So it will now be going from a paper-based to computer-based testing. All exams are going from a 6 hour to 4.5 hours. So if you really think about it, it's actually an hour and a half cutoff, which is great. Reduced number of questions. However, the only thing that will remain the same average time for questions and the same question format. So the multiple choice questions, your item sets, your constructive response. So the registration fees, I do have to lie. I actually didn't lie to you guys. The registration fee actually for early registration is actually $700. Standard registration fee is $1,000. Now you see the highlighted dates. It applies from February 2nd to May 3rd. So for anyone who's planning on taking the CFA exam, time's a ticking because that's going to be up soon. So now I'm going to show you guys what is included in all 3 levels of CFA exam. So let's look at level 1. As you see here, this beautiful pie chart we have here, we have investment tools, asset classes, portfolio management, ethics, professional standards. The two big classes here you basically want to focus on are investment tools and asset classes. Portfolio management, we won't focus on that much. Ethics, professional, will be rated the same throughout all three levels. Now, watch what happens when we go to level 2. You see, the change your base in portfolio management started to increase, investment tools started to decrease, and also asset classes started to increase as well. Now, watch what happens level 3, because when you do see it, it's going to shock you. Do you see the difference? Basically, what happens is investment tools actually shrink down to almost the size of what portfolio management was in level 1. Asset classes started to increase, ethics have remained the same, and the portfolio management actually has even doubled the size. Actually, almost looks like what asset classes looks like at level 1. Level 3 is essentially a different test than both levels 1 and 2, both in depth, and the fact that the essay is rather than multiple choice questions. So let me talk more about the levels of the CFA exam. So level 1, which is setting the pace. The learning focus here is knowledge and comprehension. The topic focus is investment tools. The topics we really want to focus on here are ethics, special standards, financial reporting and analysis, fixed incomes, and equity investments. They make up 61% of level 1. It's all about recall. Learn to pace yourself. Timing is everything. Like I said in this presentation, I know it's probably stuck in your head all day. Time management is key. That's the one thing I want you guys to take away from this presentation. Time management is key. Get to know your study style and don't ignore the ethics. It's basically part of all 3 parts of the CFA exam. There's one learning ecosystem, 10 topics are covered, 57 grades are included, 400 plus global exam locations, 180 multiple choice questions, so there's 4 exams offered yearly. So basically, show you guys what a sample of 1 multiple choice question form will look like on the CFA exam. Basically, you know, and you've seen this on every single standard test. When I talk about the Cpa exam, you're gonna get your directions, and then you get the question and the choices. It's the same thing. However, it's only based towards finance. So now we go to level 2, which is prep for mastery. The learning focus here is application and analysis. Topic focus is asset valuation. The topics we want to focus on level 2. Ethics and professional standards, financial reporting and analysis, fixed income and equity investments. They make up 60% of level 2. Start with a quick review, get to know the lingo, and be prepared to apply this knowledge more deeply. What I mean by that is take the knowledge and everything you learn in the classroom and apply it to real world situations. Be efficient with vigilance and then pace yourself. 1 learning ecosystem, 10 topics are covered, 48 readings are included, 400 plus global exam locations, 20 to 30 vigilance, and then just 2 exams offered here. Actually, it's 3. I don't know why they'd rather put that on there, but it's a, you know. So now I show you guys a sample level 2 item set question form. Basically, you have here is your typical, you know, case scenario you have here on the left, and then a full 2 pages later, you're going to get the same question style format as level 1. So my mind is basically this. It's the same style as level 1. The only thing that's being added on is that you're basically recently have to answer questions based on the reading. It's basically like some of those English tests you've taken in high school or middle school, where make you read a passage, make you read a story. You have to just answer the questions based on the reading what you just learned. And then level 3, which is all about the essay. The learning focus here is synthesis and evaluation, and the topic focus is portfolio management. You're probably wondering why portfolio management is the top focus. Well, because, and funny enough, I actually kind of pretty surprised about this, that portfolio management, wealth management takes up 40% of level 3. That's almost half of level 3, if you think about it. Topics we're going to focus on are portfolio management, wealth management, fixed income, equity investments, ethics, special standards, as they make up 90% of level 3. Topics that will not become level 3 are quantitative methods, financial reporting analysis, and corporate finance. It all comes together. Be mindful of the time. Like I said, in level 1, level 2, level 3, time management is key. Understand the format of the essay questions. Show your calculation methods and provide what is exactly asked for and no more. Do not think that if you put more on the paper, you're going to get extra credit. It's not like that. Believe me, you're going to make a fool out of yourself. Please don't do that. 1 learning ecosystem, 6 topics are covered, 38 readings are included, 400 plus exam locations, 10 to 15 ISA questions, and there's 2 exams offered yearly. So basically, this is what a sample level 3 item, level 3 constructive response question format looks like. You basically have your direction, you basically given the prompt here. And then on the right here, now just remember that this is based on a computer-based testing format. So basically getting just picture the right here as a giant text box. They have to write out all of your responses. So basically you have some links here in the CFA exam dates and schedules, computer-based testing, what you need to know, 2021 CFA program exam changes on the webinar. And oh, look, it's my good friend Peter Olito, who we had here at the Welcome Advisor Club 2 weeks ago to speak to us about the CFA exam. Basically watch that video right there. And basically here is the course curriculum topics and weighting. No overlap, may topics from level to level. Exemptions level 3, quantitative methods, financial reporting analysis, and corporate finance. Note that level 1, the topics are evenly distributed with the exemption of the last 3 being derivatives, alternative investments, and portfolio management wealth planning. As this is a big part of level 1, it must be studied thoroughly. I highly disagree with that. Actually, you should study thoroughly throughout all 3 levels of the CFA exam, my opinion. So the CFA, let's start with the CFA exam pass rate. They pass level 1's limited test. That's a progressive exam that must be taken in order, only the strong can move ahead. Explain the higher pass rates, levels 2 and level 3. Past 10 years have been pretty constant averages, with the exception of the COVID effective exams. I know everyone's out here about COVID, but this is probably the only time I think I'll have to mention. Number of candidates tests dropped by a half in the COVID period. Now, what I'm going to show you now is going to shock you, but it's kind of actually true. Yeah. You're probably wondering why we have a failing exam pass rate for 2021. And you guys probably got to tell me why, because we all know why. It's because of COVID. I know. We all want to hear it, believe me. We all want to get past it. We all do. Now, 2020 showed a normally high pass rate level 1, and level 2, but only 1 late year in exam and 1/4 of normal test takers dropped. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the other reason? There's actually 2 reasons why the exam pass rate fell. First off, it's because of COVID. And the second reason why the pass rate actually dropped is because of the topic of deferred versus not deferred. COVID testing shows dramatic falls in pass rates. Analysts show that deferred candidates did much worse than those who were able to take their exam when originally scheduled. There's no curving on the CFA exam. All must pass between a predetermined bar. So do not think you guys are all in the same room and you guys all fail and oh, we all are going to bomb it and then we're hoping that they're going to curve it because it's going to look bad. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not like college. It's not like high school. It's not like that. Please don't do that. And I basically put links on there on that site. So for those of you who have liked crypto and blockchain, I know in my AIS class, we learned about a couple weeks ago about crypto and blockchain. It's actually pretty cool. Learn about Ethereum and all that other good stuff. And for anyone who actually likes Bitcoin, all those cryptocurrency, it's actually implementing the CFA exam. So the Bitcoin boom is going to rise to regulate future trades in the Chicago CBOE. Blue chip firms like Goldman dabbling in digital assets, increase investor confidence, crypto-related startups, and then related curriculum change for 2019. Other highlights: the topics of cryptocurrency and blockchain are in levels 1 and 2. The reading is fine-tech and investment management. Materials are made available, I think, 3 years ago. I'm sorry. The CFA 2019 campus in mid-November, and actually we hired a new CFA Charter from our like competitor, Capital. Yes, you're probably wondering, well, wait, isn't Becker your competition? Yes, only with the Cpa exam, not the CFA exam. So what now? FINRA or Newton's first law of motion? You're probably looking at this cat, he's probably, oh, I'm just gonna lay down the couch, probably Netflix, chill, get a bowl of chips, and hopefully drinking a non-alcoholic beverage. So Newton's first law states that an object at rest remains at rest, or if in motion, remains in motion at a constant velocity, unless acted on by a net external force. So for anyone that is interested in going into a securities career as an investment advisor, security advisor, or security broker, the FINRA exam or the SIA exam is for you. And luckily here at Wiley, we do have a test prep course for that. Maybe how do you pass the FINRA SIA exam? You basically, and actually very, very easy. It's actually open to anyone ages 18 years old. Actually, a senior in high school can actually take the FINRA exam if you really think about it. Association with the firm is not required. Essential exam results are valid for 4 years. And you're probably wondering, well, Jack, is the exam format that hard? No, it's actually very easy. It's actually 75 questions, which are all multiple choice. There's an hour and 45 minutes, and the passing score, you have to get a 70, which is really, if you equate that to letter grade, be a C-, and the cost is $6. I'm not going to show you guys the intro video because I really don't have a lot of time to do that. But after you pass the FINRA exam, basically you would then take your next steps. Make sure you take your next 35 possible securities license exams, Series 3, Series 99. There are 3 series most common in today's business world, which are the following: Series 6, which sells packaged products such as mutual funds and variable annuities; Series 7, which is your general securities representative exam; and then Series 66, which is your combined uniform state law exam. Now, why choose Wiley? I know that there's a lot of competition out there in this today's world. There's Gleam, and there's Rogers CPA, and there's Becker. All right, so why choose Wiley over all the other ones? Well, we have the best content. We have hundreds of questions, complete study guides, and more. You're actually going to have mastered an entire lesson in 30 to 45 minutes with our bite-sized lessons. You get free online access and updates until you pass. And we're not lying about that. You actually learn from the best of the best. You learn from a leading team of top instructors. and your outcome focus, which stays on track with exam planning and powerful performance metrics. So before I go to show you guys what Wiley's Excel, Cpa Excel or CMA CFA Excel course looks like, does anybody have any questions on the CFA exam? Anyone on Zoom would like to chime in? Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with our Cpa Excel course. I'm just going to find my all right, so let me put this back. Got this again. All right, since I'm an accounting major, let's just go CPA audit. And by the way, the same format for CMA, CFA, however, it's gonna be different because we know what the course is. So basically, this is what it looks like when you actually purchase one of our CPA exam review courses. You actually will get your plan, study, and assess. So basically, your exam plan. Like I showed you guys earlier, basically, this is what your exam plan looks like. So if you're planning on studying for the CPA exam on August 4th, and you basically want to study for about an hour each day, study 3 to 4 on the weekends, you basically study for 11 hours a week for 12 weeks, at least 8 days time for review. Usually we suggest not leaving a week before you take each part of the CPA exam. We also then have your virtual classroom, your exam plan, and then your planning summary, which looks like that. Now, since I can't really show you that, I will show you what it would look like using one of my other courses I do have that purchased from Wiley. Basically, it will look like this. Basically, you have your assignment timeline widget. Basically, shows your course progress, the days remaining, what you completed, your exam plan. So basically, here, if you look, it basically shows you how many, what you completed, what's overdue, what's in progress, skipped, and unattempted. And then also you have your syllabus, your current assignments, your notes, the metrics, exam plan summary. Basically, this is what the syllabus looks. So it actually details you on what you'll be doing each day when you actually go and log on to Wiley's official learning. So here, basically, if we, if I took this course, basically learn about, today we learned about Excel terminology and also navigating and modifying worksheets. And basically, this is what it looks like. This basically give you the video, the time spent, the current grade, should be overview, the video, notes, study guide, and also a slide deck. And I did go over this more in detail. If you guys look at our YouTube channel, I believe, I think Tom Kushila actually came on. He actually showed you guys a more detailed version of it. So I won't be going more in depth about that because you guys can just watch that video. But before, and yes, it's not the end of the meeting yet, because I have some goodies for you guys. Because since you guys are such a great audience, you guys are getting some rewards from me, from Tom, and also for Peter, and also from the entire crew here at Wiley. So everyone pay attention because you might be actually getting some discounts from me. So the first one, if you scan this QR code, you're actually able to join our raffle for a free test prep course of your choice. And you're also going to sign up for our email list, which gives you valuable emails and announcements from our Wiley team. We'll give that about a minute. Everyone got the code? I'm assuming. All right. And then also we have here, which this QR code you scan will give you all of the flyers for all the CPA, CMA, CFA courses. I basically will give you guys a OneDrive that has all this because I don't want you guys, go on this one. It's just way too difficult to do it. But these last, now since you guys are such an awesome audience, you guys are going to get a very, very special reward. And if you know what that reward is, you've probably seen it in the meeting in December. But if not, you guys today will be getting a free, I say this again, a free Wiley course on us from me, from Tom, from Peter, and from the entire team here at Wiley. You're getting the Microsoft Excel for Accounting course. And I know for some finance majors, you're like, oh, well, this course is related to me. Well, basically, if you want to learn more about Excel and get, improve your skills in that, I would say take the course. And if you do scan this code, you basically get 50% discount on all exam prep courses you have here in Wiley. So CPA, CMA, CFA, AICPA certificates, the final SIE exam, and the FRM exam. And if there's any questions about that, you guys can obviously message me, or you guys can go on that link and basically email Tom right there. Basically, we'll write all these links and everything else tomorrow. Now, I mentioned earlier that I was a Wiley Campus Ambassador. Did you know you can actually become a Wiley Campus Ambassador at your campus? Unfortunately, here at Florham, I am that ambassador. But for Metro, you can become a Wiley Campus ambassador on your campus. And I did talk to our rep, I think Tom, and he did tell me that it actually happened. So Wiley Campus ambassador program provides college students with the opportunity to build a network while spreading awareness of the Wiley efficient learning, accounting, finance, business, technology, exam review courses, scholarship programs, and materials and events. So campus ambassadors, they earn free, I'm sorry, before I get to that. Professional resume boards, LinkedIn recommendations, and ongoing opportunities for networking, professional development, and our invitation-only online community, the Efficient Learning Studio, which I will show you guys in one second. But here's the big reason why I joined. And I think everyone should do this. You will get, and I'm going to say this twice, free access. I say it again, free access to any exam review course of your choice until you pass. You could pick the CPA, the CMA, the CFA exam, and you get that for life until you pass. Like, if you really think of that, it's like $500, up to $500 a value. That's a lot of money. Like, I don't know why anyone would take advantage of this. However, with great power or great rewards come responsibilities. You have to distribute promotional materials on campus through social sharings, inform students, clubs, like I'm doing right now, and faculty review courses, study materials, and then also find other campus rep prior to graduation, which I will do after I graduate my graduate degree in May 2025. So now I'm going to show you guys a little demo of what our Wiley Student Studio looks like. For anybody on Metro who's interested in applying, becoming a Wiley Campus Ambassador, and I will be sending all those links through the application link back. So, not there yet. So this is the Wiley Student Studio. So basically you have your homes, activities, rewards, CA training, and then brochures. We have here on the home screen, basically you have a little form you've probably seen on a Reddit, probably like a forum page. But also I will say this for every new campus ambassador that does come off for Wiley, you do have to take the CA training, which believe me, it's not hard. You're not going to get tested on it. It's very, very easy. Just basically teach you how you promote the products here on campus like I'm doing. So skip me over to that. We then go over to activities. So before that, I actually have brochures. Now, for some reason, I don't know why that Wiley does not have the CFA exam on there, but I am in talks with them trying to tell them to put that on there because, even though the CPC made, the CFA, right? We don't leave that one out. So actually, as a Wiley campus ambassador, every activity you get, you earn points. Those points actually you redeem to get special prizes. So, for example, I haven't had everything done, but here's some complete I've done about our presentation link, about Wiley Student Speak newsletter, join our Wiley Accounting Club, and also, we've done some great quests we've done. Actually, a Halloween quest, we did a Thanksgiving quest and a Christmas quest, which actually was pretty awesome. Now I'm going to go to the rewards. Now, before you look at all this, before you start spending your points like crazy, let me just bear in mind that the two big prizes you want to earn first, and this is what I did, these two, because these two are going to help you out big time. If you get 1,000 points, you'll have the opportunity to get a platinum level upgrade, which qualifies you for a scholarship upgrade to a platinum level when you achieve 1,000 points, which means you get the platinum level course for any product we have here, CPA, CMA, CFA. And if you really want to go above and beyond, like I did, and believe me, I did that for all 3 exams, you actually would get printed study materials for 8,000 points. You hold on to this reward so you write a study so that we can send the latest materials to help you pass. Now, this includes study guides, focus notes, and flashcards, a value over $500. So my advice to you, spend your points here first, and everything else like Starbucks gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Uber gift cards, and athletic and Visa prepaid gift cards and athletic gift cards. So my advice is spend your points on these 2 first, everything else second, because you earned it. And with that, I will end it now. My contact info is there. You guys reaching out to me on LinkedIn. You guys reach out to me on campus. And also Tom, unfortunately, wasn't able to make it here, but I promise you next semester, actually, it's a little surprise. We will be presenting this again next semester, but Tom will be in person next semester. So that will be very surprising for all of our forum members. So I actually want to meet the man himself. So with that, does anybody have any questions about anything I went over today about CPA, CMA, CFA exam? Anyone on Zoom? Anyone? Come on. Let's try and make this engaging. Come on, we got like 7 minutes left.
Wait, can you please repeat the question?
Does anyone have any questions about the CPA, CMA, CFA exam, or anything I went over today? Anything?
I mean, you went over everything pretty much good. Like, you did great. I feel like I don't have any like questions currently.
Okay, thank you, Gloria, for that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and with that, that's it, but the meeting's not over yet, because I do have a couple announcements to make. So, the first announcement, I know, oh, there's something.